Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Santa with struggles this morning. I think that I'm going to try to reset up the stream, and I'll start again. Oh, we've got the concurrent viewers. We've got people coming in. We're reconnecting. Hopefully, take two will work here. Hey there. Oh my goodness, we got all kinds of people coming in this morning. Well, fantastic. It's good to see you guys. And Trinity, it is mighty early for you this morning. Great to have you here. Thanks for stopping in. Mike, thanks for staying with me. The first stream this morning, I lost my connection. I had to restart my connection, reconnect to the Wi-Fi, restart OBS, restart YouTube. So we're back up. Polyhedral Paradise. Good morning. So I want to get back to where I was the topic talking about Galaxy's Edge. And is it an actual immersive Star Wars experience for all Star Wars fans, or is it a sequel trilogy heap of garbage, right? So there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there who are really, really anti sequel trilogy, and they see the Galaxy's Edge as Disney's money grab around the sequel trilogy, that it was built around the sequel trilogy, it features the sequel trilogy, and it's for sequel trilogy fans. And my argument, and I wanted to come in and discuss it, and give a defense for it being for all Star Wars fans, and while at the same time acknowledging, well, of course, Disney is trying to profit, and of course, Disney is featuring some of the material that and the movies that they just released, because they've got a long-term view of this, right? They're trying to build a theme park, or a portion of a theme park, that will last for decades and perhaps generations. So how do we build a theme park that attracts to all of Star Wars fans and brings in everybody? And so that's really what they're up against. I want to see if I can bring this in again and see if it works here. So I was on Disney Plus recently, and I was trying to see if there was any new content, just browsing for something to watch on a Saturday afternoon, and come across the new to Disney Plus line here. And I was, of course, a week ago, it was in a little different order. But if you, even today, if you work your way across this, you will find that there's an interesting part here called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And it's new to the Disney Plus. Apparently, this was originally broadcast on TV. It's got all kinds of breaks in there for commercials, and it's narrated by Billy D. Williams. And Polyhedro, you're exactly right. They're trying to build their own things. They didn't expect the backlash, but at the same time, there's quite a bit in it for all Star Wars fans. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And I want to go in here just a little bit, and we're not going to play a lot because there's, of course, copyright issues and things like that. I just want to get in, and I'll show you. If you get right to the 45-minute mark in this video, you will see that they talk about how they come up with this specific implementation. And let me just mute it here so I don't have problems with that. I've got the closed captioning on. I'll just let this play and as I talk about it, so you can kind of see what they're talking about. In here, they start with the idea, and you'll see them talk about it here in a moment. They start with the idea of how do we execute this? The Lucasfilm, actually the Disney Parks folks said if you have a chance to build a Star Wars themed attraction area, how would you build it? And where would you start? What would it look like? And they set their folks loose to figure that out. And they start looking at the movies. They start looking at the world. They start with Tatooine, and then they think about Hoth, and they think about all of those worlds that we're very familiar with. And they come to a point in the discussion where what do they want to build? They want to build something that is an homage to, or something that is an archive or a museum is the term they use. And I see I'm buffering again. We'll try to power through it and see if it works. So they wonder if they want to build a museum to Star Wars where people come and they visit the things that they know, or do they want to build something that is more live, interactive, and current? And that's, of course, the direction they decided to go. They decided to go with something alive, interactive, current. And they worked with Lucasfilm and to come up with what it would look like. How do we incorporate these things, and what do we do to execute this? And you see, they worked with the Lucasfilm Story Group from the very beginning, and they built this land using concept art from Lucasfilm together with the Disney parks folks to come up with this land. Now, if it were me and I had all the money in the world and I could build whatever I wanted, I would have just repurposed Epcot. I would have just taken that great big Epcot ball and made it into the Death Star, and I would have repurposed the inside of that little trek you take through history. If you've ever been to Epcot, you'll see that the attraction on the inside is very dated. I understand they redid that recently, and it may be better, but even then, I'm not sure that it is any good. And I would have made that into a bit of a walk through Star Wars, and you could have put in Hoth, you could have put in some of the scenes from the movies as you ride through that Death Star, or you could have made it a story inside of there as you're going through, and it could have been interactive. And yeah, they've detected audio copyright in the stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. So I'm going to stop this. You guys get the idea. It's in here. I'm just going to stop that just to stop any kind of issue that they may have. So that's I wanted to. YouTube's already grabbing me. I had it muted. I was talking about it, and we weren't playing it. So hopefully they allow that to go. Yeah, if Star Wars Santa has a lightsaber, would it be white? So, actually, Mike, if I had a lightsaber, it'd be like it is in my logo. It would be green because Santa Christmas is red and green. So green complements red. It goes with Christmas. So Santa would get a green lightsaber. So all of that to say that if I had my way, I would have repurposed Epcot. I would have made the Epcot ball into the Death Star. In each of the lands within the Epcot, I would have repurposed as a Star Wars world. So we could have had Tatooine and Hoth and you name it. You could have put all of it on there. And people could have gone around in a completely immersive Star Wars experience, visiting some of their favorite places from the movies. But that doesn't seem to be anything that was on the table. And so when Lucasfilm had to come up, or when Disney Parks had to come up with this idea, they spent the time brainstorming it, working it out, and then they of course built the Galaxy's Edge as we know it. And I wanted to touch base on a couple of the real quick, couple of the major complaints. One being the dish on the Millennium Falcon. This Harvey, good morning. It's bright and early here on the East Coast, and especially for our friend Trinity out there on the West Coast. Good to see you here this morning, Harvey. So one of the major complaints is the dish that's on the Millennium Falcon inside of Galaxy's Edge. It uses the rectangular dish from The Force Awakens, and that rectangular dish gets knocked off in The Last Jedi. So in between there, that rectangular dish is present. Afterwards, in Rise of Skywalker, we see them go back to a round dish. And so I looked up and said, well, what's the history of those dishes on the Falcon, and why are people so upset about it being rectangular? Well, I think, Mike, you mentioned it earlier, or no, Polyhedral, you mentioned it earlier. There was a lot of backlash on 8 especially, so on The Last Jedi, and even The Force Awakens. So what they've done is they've just called, if you're not aware, they've already started calling it the Disney trilogy. They're trying to separate that out from being, Trinity, a double-sided red and green. Nice. That would be awesome. So yeah, so they've started just trying to retcon that whole thing. Of course, there's the great big thing from Doomcock about them going to remove the sequel trilogy from canon. There's the Fandom Menace folks are still absolutely livid about the sequel trilogy as a whole. There's a big portion of the fan base that are rejecting the sequel trilogy as a whole. And so the Falcon having this rectangular dish on it ties it to that trilogy, and they want to reject the whole thing over this rectangular dish. And so I look back, and there's some of the stuff from Wikipedia. Of course, Wikipedia is a fandom kind of thing. It's not all canon. Of course, it tries to point out those kind of things. But from what I read, that rectangular dish happened after Solo, or after Return of the Jedi, when it was knocked off in Death Star 2, and Han Solo put the rectangular one on. The rectangular one is there from after Return of the Jedi through The Last Jedi. So that seems to be the history. There's also some history that says the model, the freighter, would have originally been built with a rectangular dish, and then at some point it was replaced with the round one. And it should be noted that in Solo, the dish on it is, and I don't know if they show it in here or not. No, they don't. So here you see this rectangular dish kind of standing up. In Solo, it's laying down flat, kind of on top of the hull, pointing up. So in Solo, you've got a round one. It's flat. In where we come familiar with it in the original trilogy, it looks more like you see here. And then, of course, after Death Star 2, supposedly Han put on the rectangular one. So from a lore kind of standpoint, and from a canon standpoint, that's what they're saying. Of course, there's some legends, history as well, and it goes on to talk about how the different, whatever you have there. So I wanted to address that because that's one of the major complaints about Galaxy's Edge, and it being all sequel-based, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. Let's see. Harvey is the agreement. Mike, yeah, need to show on Disney Plus. Back to watching Star Wars movie. I have enjoyed Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, and A New Hope. Yeah. So This is pure Disney propaganda, of course. This whole it says the audio stream bit rate 0 is recommended. Then can you guys still hear me? It's saying my audio stream bit rate is 0. Use an audio stream bit rate of. Let me go in. Make sure you guys can still hear me. Yo. Oh boy, this is what I've been hoping we would get a little of here. It can again, yeah, okay, Mike, you can hear. I'm getting an error on my side that there's 0 audio bit rate. So we have the Great Council here. We've got but it's like I'm in a can. Okay, so Santa's having some technical issues early this morning, so hopefully that'll work itself out. So the other day, Lunga on the Great Council was kind of putting down the Galaxy's Edge. He has no purpose, no need for it. It's not his thing. And as Lunga is, if you want to enjoy it, you enjoy it. But he was giving it some crap, and I wanted to give him crap because it's just fun to do that, right? It's fun to have friendly arguments amongst friends, and so I was giving Lunga a bit of a hard time, and Jeffrey tried to come in there and give him a hard time, and they kind of gave him a hard way to go. But there's a lot in Galaxy's Edge. Again, if you're not a theme park person, I get that. But if you're a Star Wars fan and you're in Disney World, would you? Yes, you did. And you were in there. Would you enjoy it? And then I needed to also bring up that Blackspire Outpost, which is the central hub of Galaxy's Edge theme park. You are in Blackspire Outpost. That's what it's about. That's the story that's taking place while you're there, supposedly interacting with it. The Blackspire Outpost actually appeared, the first time I saw it was in one of the Thrawn books. And in that book, they're kind of reliving, Thrawn and Vader are having a discussion, and they're going, they're looking for, they're on a quest. I don't want to kind of ruin the novel, but in the book, they're after a particular a mission. They're on a mission together that the Emperor has sent them on. So Thrawn and Vader are on this mission. It's actually a really good book because it kind of gets into the Skywalker that the Chiss use. And in that book, it is just it's a really good book. Again, Timothy Zahn is respected as one of the better Star Wars authors. Again, Lunga and I is very particular when you start talking about authors and being great authors. But within the Star Wars community, within the novels that exist, Timothy Zahn is highly respected. And in here, in that book, the Thrawn book, they explore, I know it actually led me to believe for a while that the Rise of Skywalker was going to deal more with the Chiss. It could possibly bring them in as part of the solution to the First Order, as I was speculating about what might happen. But so in that book, they're reliving and recounting some of the past. And in that book, they visit Blackspire Outpost. And so that happens during the original trilogy era, but they're remembering back to the prequel trilogy era, and he's remembering some things. So we have that. I also, just in looking at Wikipedia, yes, Lunga, of course he has orders from Disney. Include this in your book. Of course I did. Of course. And they're trying to bring Blackspire into the Star Wars lore, and of course they're putting it in the book, and he's getting his running orders from Disney. the inclusion of Black Spire works. It doesn't feel forced. There is a line I noticed as well here, and I didn't actually catch it, but in Solo, it says you couldn't get from here to Black Spire without me. Now you're going to make the Kessel Run. That's L3. No, L337 is my least favorite character probably in all of Star Wars. So I'm really, Lunga, I swear, buddy, you are fantastic. So the Leet is we call her. She in Solo, she mentions Black Spire, so it's canonical in that it is in the Solo movie. It's canonical in that it's in Timothy Zahn's book, and it also appears in a bunch of others. There's another where I also kind of get you where you actually go into Black Spire Outpost is within the Galaxy's Edge Black Spire by Delilah Dawson. Now, she is another very popular Star Wars author these days, and she has written some really, really good books. And this book is, again, very obviously Disney, Lucasfilm told her, we need a book to help with this whole world. And there's a series of books. There's another book based on Black Spire Outpost that is very bad. I don't care for it at all. But I will say that Galaxy's Edge Black Spire is a very good book. Delilah Dawson's book is very good. And then it also ties in, this book ties into another book that she wrote based on, what's her name? The Silver, I don't know why I just lost her name. From the sequel trilogy, Lonely Banner LB. Our Florida man has made it. Thanks. Good to see you this morning. So Delilah also wrote a book about Captain Phasma. So Phasma introduces a character that's very popular among some of the novel fans, Captain Cardinal. Captain Cardinal then ties into this Black Spire, and that carries on. And one of the main characters in this book is featured actually in Galaxy's Edge. She's there, and you can interact with. Oh, there it is, right there, Phasma. So yeah, she shows up in that book as well. So this character, you can find her as you are in Black Spire at Galaxy's Edge, and you can interact with her as part of the mission, as part of this interactiveness. So yeah, I should have had you on, Lunga. We should have done this together. That would have been fun. Maybe we can. I can get on sometime. We can banter back and forth. You're having fun at my expense, and I appreciate it. This is great. So anyhow, we've got the Galaxy's Edge book. Yeah, this Galaxy's Edge book, Black Spire, and it's a good book. It's Delilah actually wrote a pretty good book. LB, look, if you don't have a purpose for it, that's fine. But it does show up in Zahn's book with Thrawn and Vader. It shows up in Solo. It shows up in, of course, this book, and it also shows up in the Phasma book. So we've got lots of connections here into Black Spire Outpost, and it fits in. Yeah, the blue-haired girl that runs around the Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, that's her right there. Vi Moradi is her name. Vi Moradi is kind of an undercover operative for the Resistance, and she gets captured by Phasma, and there's this great big story around it. And Phasma, the novel, is well regarded. The Timothy Zahn book, well regarded. So we have a couple of really good authors that have brought in Black Spire in a canonical way. Again, it fits into Star Wars lore outside of the sequel trilogy. Now, it does require that you get into the novels, and most people aren't going to do that. Yeah, it's a marketing ploy. Of course it's a marketing ploy, but is it also canonical? And does it fit in well? Is it written well? I would argue yes. Phasma is a well-written book. Timothy Zahn's Thrawn novels are well-written books. And even this one, Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire, is a well-written book. These all are very good canonical tie-ins to Black Spire Outpost. And I would recommend reading those three books. And I would do it probably start with the Thrawn books, and then go to Phasma, and then go to this book here, Black Spire. And all of them are good, and I recommend them. They're good books, and it brings in Black Spire canonically outside of the sequel trilogy, except of course the Phasma book. But and even this one here is within that sequel trilogy era. So I wanted to get back into, okay, outside of this sequel trilogy era, if you just went to the park, you're a Star Wars fan, and you went into Galaxy's Edge, are you just there for sequel trilogy stuff? And I wanted to bring up, if you just Google Galaxy's Edge Easter eggs, you will find plenty of articles about it, and you will find that if you were there, you're drugged there. If we drug Lunga there against his will, brought all of his most beloved family members to woo him to come, whatever it would take, we get Lunga there, and we force him into Galaxy's Edge. Would there be anything that Lunga could appreciate while he was there? So, and perhaps LB, you're a Florida man. Galaxy's Edge isn't that far away. Disney World is not that far away. You have the opportunity to go visit. So if the Lonely Man were there, if LB were there, is there things within there that you would enjoy? So he's a poor lonely man. Okay, so if you've not subscribed to LB, he's a poor lonely man. He needs more subscribers, so maybe you can get that YouTube revenue, right? So subscribe to LB. He's got a great channel. And one of my favorite videos that I've seen LB do lately was about the Florida Man. I am hoping that LB does more Florida Man videos, because there's never a shortage of Florida Man stories, and they're fantastic. So, yeah, I know I am battling an uphill battle here, Lunga. But so the first thing, as far as Easter eggs are concerned, we have this roaster. This roaster is part of a pod racer. So from the prequel trilogy era, this is a pod racer engine. So there's a little play. You've got a pod racer engine. You also see a yellow lightsaber hung back there. But here's a pod racer engine. That's from prequel era. This guy here, you recognize him? Where does this guy come from? Everybody, all of our OT fans, all of the boomers in the room, do you know where this guy comes from? This is the backside of him, so you may not recognize him fully, but he's got a similar job in the original trilogy. You may recognize him, right? He's the droid torturer, right? From where he's got the droid upside down and burning his feet. That's this guy here. So, uh, yeah, yeah. Let's turn a pod racer engine into chicken roasting machine. Sure, why not? But this is from the original trilogy era. You've got the droid torturer droid right here, and he's cooking that right there. So, oh well, B's already been there, buddy. I'm jealous. Uh, the Toydarian Toy Maker. This again, it's called tokenism. I know. I know. But if you were there, would you enjoy it? Is the whole thing just sequel trilogy garbage, or are there things there that you can enjoy as a Star Wars fan outside of the sequel trilogy, outside of the Disney era that you can enjoy? Well, we've already mentioned something from the original trilogy, right? The droid torturer droid. We've already mentioned stuff from the prequel trilogy. And of course it's tokenism. They want your money, right? They want your money. So this Toydarian, of course, that's from the Phantom Menace, right? So we've got that. If you keep going through, this is the inside of there. But you keep going through, there's Sabacc, the game Sabacc from Solo. Again, that's Disney era stuff. But there's Sabacc, and Sabacc is mentioned by Han Solo. He won the Millennium Falcon in a Sabacc game. So there's that. On top of the area where you can go shop food, there's this food delivery truck, right, or ship, and this is it has 77, 80, and 83 on it, and 80 is down in. So when you go inside, you can see the 1980. These are the original trilogy movie release dates that are on the side of there. So again, just an Easter egg, throwing a bone to our original trilogy fans, and as Lunga is so definitely put out, it is absolutely tokenism. They want your money. Sorry. Yeah. So there's that. If we keep going, there's more. Look here. We have Luke's training droid, right? It's part of the Millennium Falcon ride. As you go through, you can see the helmet that Luke wore with the blast shield, and the training droid is right there. So again, that comes from A New Hope. We've got an Easter egg here from A New Hope. Okay, let's keep going. And a baby Sarlacc. Of course, the Sarlacc, that's where you can find Boba Fett, in the belly of the Sarlacc. But here they show this. Yes, absolutely. Child labor toys that you can buy. Yeah. We've got battle droids from the original trilogy, or from the prequel trilogy. You got battle droids in the cabinets here. So as you're going through, you can spot some battle droids. There you go. You got a better view of them here. And keep going down. You'll see the Dianoga. So this is from A New Hope again. The creature that pokes its eyeball up, and this is really reflective. It's hard to see. It pokes its eyeball up, looks around, and of course it pulls Luke under in the garbage, the trash compactor area. So that's there as well. Here you can see from the Mandalorian, you've got the Mandalorian's helmet, and you've got Lunga. I'm coming for you. Just give me a moment. So you've got the Mandalorian's helmet as well as his weapon. If you look over here, you got Darth Maul, a bust of Darth Maul. You've got some blasters here on the wall, and let's keep going. Here's a DJ R3X, known as Rex. He's from the original Star Tours ride, and now he's been repurposed as a DJ. And there's a whole story about how he was sold from one owner to another. You've got that in here, and then keep going. There's a couple other references. We've got the droids here. Let's keep going. Oh, look here. What's this? here's from the Hoth. Of course, we had the droid that blew up. Here you've got one of those droids right here, hanging in pieces. You've got a Gonk droid upside down. So here you go. Remember when he got his feet blasted in the original trilogy? Here you've got another a Gonk droid here, upside down, as the tribute back to there. You've got here's our pod racer engine again with our droid torture, mentioning the Gonk droid. Lost Cats. Lost Cats are mentioned, and we see them show up. I think they're mentioned here in the Phantom Menace. We see we've got our guy here from the original trilogy. We've got I want to come back down. We've got where is it? Here we go. We've got that stuff again. That's not belongs to. Oh, here you got you've got our good friend Jar Jar Binks hanging out. And then here's our Sarlacc again. Here you can see the body of the Sarlacc and see if we still have. Of course, this is a baby Sarlacc, just a teeny tiny little guy. And then here we go. So I want to bring this up. So we got our prequel trilogy from the Geonosis, where they were captured on there. Here you got a Tauntaun, right? So you got those. So just as a Star Wars fan, going through, there are lots of Easter eggs, and that's sort of the point. There are lots of Easter eggs within the park. Here you got a better view of the Tauntaun and our creature from the prequel trilogy. There are lots of things in there for people to enjoy if you are a Star Wars fan, just a Star Wars fan as a whole. There's also, and I don't know if it's in these articles here, there's a wall that comes from, here's an IG unit. You got IG unit hanging up here, as well as a helmet from one of the clone troopers. Right, you've got, of course, helmets from stormtroopers as well. But there's a wall in there that comes from the prequel trilogy, or in Palpatine's office, that has the mural kind of that's in here as well. So I just don't know if it's in these articles here that I pulled. So are there things in Galaxy's Edge canonical outside of the sequel trilogy? Yes. Are there things in Galaxy's Edge from the prequel era? Yes. Are there things in Galaxy's Edge from the original trilogy era? Yes. And there are a couple other things that I didn't mention here. All of the trash cans in Galaxy's Edge have the number on it from A New Hope. When Luke is calling out the 3PO, the number from the trash compactor that he did are on all the trash cans. So there's original trilogy stuff. There are imprints on the ground from R2-D2, taken from the original R2-D2 and that was used in the movies. They took that model that was in the movies, made an impression of the tracks, and they put those on the ground, and you can, as you're walking about, you will see R2-D2's tracks. So there is a ton of wait for it, trash. Yeah, the trash compactors, but you also get Luke's training helmet, with the visor. You get the training droid that he was using with Obi-Wan. You get references to all kinds of, the Sarlacc is there. You've got a Tauntaun there. You've got all kinds of things from the original trilogy throughout the park as an homage back to that original trilogy. Of course, we know Chewbacca is there. You can take a picture with, but of course he's there through other times as well. Let's see if I can get caught up with some of the chat. Kylo Ren ride. Yeah. So the Millennium Falcon ride was the original one that opened. That LBE was there. Since then, they've opened another ride that is fully immersive in the, of course, in the sequel era with Kylo Ren on there, and it's immersive. It's supposed to be really, really good. Galaxy's Edge feels like a strip mall. Yeah. Again, they're trying to take your money, LB. That's why they're there. Disney does a fantastic job of extracting money from its customers. They do a great job. And I saw, Lunga, I saw you mention that you're not a theme park guy, and I get it, right? I understand there are people who are just not theme park people, don't enjoy them. But if you were in Galaxy's Edge, would you be immersed as a Star Wars fan with things that you could enjoy that are not sequel trilogy related, or just there as pure marketing? I think so. I think there's plenty of that. Let's see what else. Galaxy's Edge, like strip mall. Haven't been in a restaurant. Yeah, 10K. I will say I've been to Disney World a few times. We budget $1,000 a day when we visit. So if we're there for 3 days, we budget a $3,000 vacation. Now that's all inclusive. That's our entire budget. That includes our lodging, meals, park visits, things that we buy, all of that. But yeah, $1,000 a day is pretty much what we budget when we visit, so that we have the right amount of money available. So let's see what else. What else we have? It's a 10K. Yeah. Porter, Christopher Lee. Mike, that is fantastic. Yeah, we always have to give Adam a hard time about forgetting that Christopher Lee was dead. He hasn't been in anything recently. It's funny enough. So that will never get old. I will never get old. Hawks Holocron. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate the support. Thanks so much. Items you mentioned also used by Rey. So is it really? Oh, Lunga. Of course they were used by Rey, but not this. But where they're positioned in the Falcon, and the way that they're positioned there is clearly a reference to the original trilogy. Is called back to the original trilogy, and the folks who made it specify that that's why they put it there. It's an homage to the original. You're just being Lunga. I understand. That's what you can't, if you're Lunga, you can't be anybody but Lunga. That's who you are. Yeah, I got it. Not paying $200 for a lightsaber toy. I'm not. You know what, Mike Porter? I got good news for you. You can pay $100. Half that amount. You can pay $100 for a lightsaber. And I think that's what they sell for, $100, not $200. I'd give a hard time. But Santa would absolutely pay $100 to go into Galaxy's Edge and make a lightsaber there, a custom lightsaber. That would be fun for me. LB, Disney's not cheap. Kids never forget. Until, of course, you go woke, and then you go broke, of course. No, you know, the deal with taking your kids there, that's absolutely true. We've been able to take our kids there at different ages. We've took them there when they were real little, and they enjoyed that. And, of course, older in life. And we go there about every 3 years, give or take. We enjoyed taking our family there. And I enjoy going. And I look forward to going to Galaxy's Edge as a Star Wars fan and seeing these Easter eggs myself. And a Force saber. Yeah. the Disney Sabres, they got a little bit of bad press because the batteries were going out quickly and then people were having to replace them. But they are very similar to the Force Sabres. They're very sturdy and they're paid really well. Jonathan, good morning. Thanks for joining. Mike, 200. Yeah, it's 100 to build it there in that shop. Still really high on the pricing side, but I would enjoy making it. I don't want to go too late. I know it's 9 o'clock. I had a lot of issues at the beginning getting started, but it's time this morning for Fanjecture. If you guys haven't subscribed to Fanjecture, we're going to hop over there and say good morning to Adam. And I appreciate you all stopping in. And maybe I didn't get to take on long as much as I wanted. I just wanted to point out that Galaxy's Edge is absolutely canonical. It's in some very good canon material. And if you go to Galaxy's Edge, if you find yourself there, could you enjoy it being outside of the sequel trilogy? I think I've made a good argument for yes, you could. Galaxy Solo, yeah, Jonathan, there is. So let's get on over to Fanjecture's channel. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here, and hope to see you all there. And Lunga, I look forward to maybe joining you again sometime just to banter and enjoy debating one another as friends. So as friends do. So you guys, I hope you have a great day. Look forward to seeing you over on Fanjecture's channel, and we'll see you soon. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.